7 hours a day and 25 hours a week is the amount of time teachers spend with their students. In this time, they are building relationships, helping them grow by teaching them the required information, but also putting in valuable life lessons. Even though they spend multiple hours with their kids, behind the scenes they are putting in even more unpaid hours of hard work in order to create the best learning environment. So minimum wage is about $15 an hour, which is $31,000 a year, which is the minimum that a person needs to live. Teachers are only paid about $34,000 a year. So why are the most influential people in our lives paid just a little bit over minimum wage? The people who help mold the children of the future, people who are role models and teach us everything that we need to know, are barely paid over minimum wage. People who hold this much responsibility and significance should not be paid this little. Teachers deserve a higher pay, and my first point is because of the amount of work done outside of the classroom. The voluntary but necessary work that they have to do is cleaning and organizing the classroom, buying supplies that students need, but also supplies for activities, parking lot duty, supporting extracurricular activities, etc. But the mandatory things that they have to do are faculty meetings, parent calls, outside of school, curriculum and standard understanding, grading papers, and researching. But all of this had to be done outside of the school hours. Thus, they are not paid for it, which is very unfair to them. My next point is that teachers must be incredibly selfless in order to help their students. In the book, The Well-Balanced Teacher, How to Work Smarter and Stay Sane Inside and Out of the Classroom by Mike Anderson, he brings to light how teachers must put aside themselves and their own feelings for the sake of their students. The quote says, "If teachers are stressed out and exhausted, how can they have the patience, positive energy, and enthusiasm to provide the best instruction for students?" Teachers have to be selfless because they have to help the kids learn. The kids are not going to be able to learn if the teacher is upset and exhausted. Along with, it's not going to make the students feel respected either. And if you don't make the students feel respected, the students will not respect the teacher. Also, it makes the teacher a lot more trustworthy when they are positive and patient and enthusiastic. This is necessary for teachers to have the mental and emotional burden of their own lives along with what is placed on them by their students. This deserves a pay raise considering what is expected of teachers at all times, even in their hardest moments of life. My next point is that teachers need to, though teachers will work extremely hard, students will only get out of the lesson what they put into it. This can be very difficult for teachers who come up with amazing lessons for their students. Teachers can have high expectations for their students, but the students may not respond to them as expected. When teachers come in with high expectations, they may be let down. Robin Jackson in the book Never Work Harder Than Your Students and Other Great Teaching Principles states, "If you only adjust your behavior without first changing your perspective, sooner or later your true expectations will leak through." And this quote is discussing that teachers must view what they think their students can do and not just judge based off of what they think their students can do. So a teacher may come up with this beautiful lesson, but the students may not be ready for it. Thus, all their work is in vain. Along with this, teachers must evaluate and start where the students are. Teachers may make up entire lessons, as I said, but the children can end up unengaged and uninterested. This is an unconventional feat for teachers, thus putting all their hard work and hours done outside of the classroom with planning to shame. In conclusion, since teachers do immense amounts of work outside of their paid hours, along with their mandatory selflessness, having to take extreme precautions for themselves in order to help the students learn. The work that they put in is sometimes not reciprocated by the students. It makes it a really unfair for teachers to be paid only a little bit over minimum wage. The National Education Society provides us with an article, and in this article it states, if we want to attract, retain, and motivate the best and the brightest, we need to raise the starting salaries of teachers to be competitive with other professions, says Bob Willoughby, and he is the Associate Director of Research with the New Jersey Education Association. Teachers deserve a pay increase because of their intense work and dedication. They deserve to be paid more than a little over minimum wage because they do not have a minimum wage worthy job. They work hard hours and are not even paid what they deserve. Thus, teachers deserve an increase in pay.